Hi, this is Keith Russo again with another tutorial on the Behringer X32 digital console. Today we're going to cover effects, actually effects routing, how to send the effects to different outputs and the like. I'm going to start out by saying that I already set the console up with a vocal mic in channel 1, check 1, 2, the old 58, which is assigned out of left and right now. I also assigned it to a monitor on our feed aux, or actually bus 1, as well as a matrix. It's a matrix as well. So this mic is headed towards 3 outputs in the IOs. Left and right, monitor send to aux 1, and a matrix out to bus 9, I think. Hey, okay. I lose myself sometimes here. Let's first cover the view on the bus sense master. Explain the fact that this console has basically 16 buses, and you can configure it manually or pre-configure. And I've pre-configured this console as what they describe as 4, 8, and 4. And what that means is this first 4 of the 16 is set for pre-fader, aux 1, going to the monitor. The next 8 are set up as subgroups, which I've mastered here. So subgroups, subgroup, the first subgroup, which is actually bus 5, assigned 2 vocals, so that's a vocal subgroup. And then the last 4 by default on this console are the effects. 13, 14, 15, 16 post fader that go into the inboard effects. In the master, you'll see the returns, effects 13, 14, 15, and 16, and they're in increments of 2 channels because they're returning as stereos. There you go, stereo returns. The sends, I find on the third bus 9 through 16 comes on the console here. So the master sends aux 13, 14, 15, and 16. Post fader. Okay, so this is how we start. Channel 1, microphones, it's selected. We click bus sends master button here. The 4th button is pressed, which makes this 13, 14, 15, and 16. 13, 14, 15, and 16. It can also be used by turning this, I'm juggling here, jump knob. As you can see, they're highlighted. As you turn it, it moves down to the right. And now these buttons work these faders. So you can see as I bring up, turn this knob here, it's raising. If I go to the master section here and turn the first knob, it's doing the same thing. Same thing. So by having the channel selected, and we increase 13, which is the feed to the reverb, check 1, 2, I now have reverb. But we're not all the way there yet. It's because what's happening on this console, I set up the first subgroup as vocal, but check 1, 2. When I bring the group down, check 1, 2, you're still hearing reverb, and that is because the reverb is sent directly to stereo. The returns are. If you select the channel, as you can see, it's by default sent to stereo, as were all the channels. I had to correct that and assign them to the subgroup, then you assign the subgroup to left and right. So that's what we're going to do here. Selecting the effects, deselecting the stereo feed. 15 and 16. So now you're not going to hear any reverb because it's not going anywhere. It's being check 1, 2. Let me figure up here. Check 1, 2. What you're hearing is the vocal is going into this subgroup, and from this subgroup, as you can see, it's going left and right. Boom. But with the effects is being hit, but the returns are not going anywhere. We deselected it from left and right. So we're going to set up an effects subgroup and then assign that subgroup to left and right. And that's when we hear it again. And to set the subgroup, as I described earlier, you select the subgroup, it sends on fader, and deselect the mutes on the effects that you want to assign to that subgroup. Be a good idea while you're there to also set up and change the color to coincide with that of the reverb, which is purple. We do that by turning this knob, which turns to purple. There we go. Yeah, so now, in theory, you have to bring this up. Don't forget to do that. It's something I commonly do. Check 1, 2. Now, if I want to remove the reverb, I mute it. Check 1, 2. Or bring it up and down variably as per the fader. Check 1, 2. But as you recall, when I eliminate the vocal, I'm still getting reverb. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Okay. Now, an advantage of having it going to a subgroup is that you can EQ it. You can have an EQ specifically for the effects. It also can be assigned dynamics such as compression, noise gates, and the like. Also, you can use it in a matrix because you need a subgroup to be assigned, or a bus of any kind to assign two matrices. So if we don't run it through the subgroup, we won't be able to get into the matrix. Now, it doesn't stop there. To assign it to a monitor, now what we have to do is we go back to the returns. We click the return. And what we'll do first is we'll turn off left and right. Turn on pre-fader effects, or monitor, excuse me. Check 1, 2. Now it's coming out of this little guy over here. Check 1, 2. To get effects into it, we select the return. Select the return on the effect. Select the sends, master sends, bus sends. Boom, that's green. And now we'll be sending the effects into monitor 1, which is 1. You rotate the knob over to the left. You can see it's all the way to the left. Now, by turning this, we're actually feeding the selected channel, which is the return on the effects, into monitor. Bus 1, which is set up as a monitor. And now, check 1, 2. Now we have effects in the monitors. Check 1, 2. It's amazing. But there's more. We're going to mute the monitor. Check, we got nothing. And now we're going to assign it to a matrix. Matrix 1. As we learned before, in order to assign something to a matrix only takes basically feeds. Let's take inputs. You can't assign a channel to it. So you can assign any bus, whether it's a monitor, a subgroup, left and right. And since we just happen to have effects on the subgroup, we'll assign the subgroup, click the select, boom, and then we go up to the board because the bus sends masters is selected for the screen, so it's up on the screen. And here we have 1 through 6, which are basically matrix 1, 2, 6. I blacked them out, but basically all 6 of these were lit in purple. Matrix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But for this demonstration, I blacked them out, make it a little less confusing. So, it's like it isn't already confusing. So we go back up to selecting the effects, and we bring the effects into, boom, boom, boom. Deselect effect. Check 1, 2, and there you go. So you can see as I dial it out, it will remove it. Oh man, I need a better system here. Jesus. Check 1, 2. So we're basically taking the check 1, 2, the effects in and out of. We're basically bringing in subgroup. Let me show you here. Subgroup 2 is selected, and by selecting bus sends master, the bus sends and they're on screen, which is 1 through 6, which are matrix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And since by turning the first, we're actually increasing the selected bus into matrix 1. Check effects 1, 2. Oh God. Jesus. And that's it. Somebody explain to what I just explained to you back to me, please. Good night, Gracie.